Hi dears, hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's Anna with you here, and today we have the latest update on the situation and the recent news from Spain and our sunny Benidorm region. So for the number of cases and in general the situation here in Spain, I must say that we don't have the exact amount of cases for the day of yesterday because yesterday was Father's Day here in Spain. It's a bank holiday which will be up until Monday next week, so we don't really have the exact amount of cases and the index. Although a lot of different regions here in Spain have mentioned that they have a slight increase in cases, as well as the index as well have increased by 1.5 points or 2 points approximately. For example, yesterday the index of people getting sick versus 100,000 of people was 128, and today it will be approximately 129, 130. This doesn't mean that the situation is getting drastically worse. No, it just means that there have been slightly more cases than usual, but we have to check this situation and see what's going on because it's quite probable that the fourth wave is almost here. The increase in cases has been in these regions, which are Aragon, Catalonia, Navarra, Balearic Islands, which are Mallorca, Menorca, and Ibiza, and Galicia. These are the only regions here in Spain that have detected the increase in cases. Valencian region, for example, which is our region, Andalusia, Murcia, these regions didn't register any kind of increase for now, which is very, very good and positive news for us, because we are in the low risk right now and we want to stay that way, to be honest. What else is happening in Andalusia? If some of you live there or have relatives that live there, for the Saint Week, which is basically Easter here in Spain, from the end of March until the 9th of April, there's been new measures. I've already mentioned them, but Andalusia has changed them slightly. When a lot of different regions have input some measures that will basically make people stay in their own region, in their own area, autonomic region. For example, the whole area region of Madrid will not be able to move out of Madrid to another region, let's say Valencian community. But they are able to move inside of different areas of Madrid. The same in all other different regions, except for Andalusia. They've decided to somehow limit the movement of people for different, here in Spain, they're called provincias, which are different smaller regions, like districts, inside the big area, big community. For example, in Andalusia, you won't be able to go from Malaga, let's say, to Sevilla or to Granada because the areas are closed, the districts are closed. This is only for the Easter week, and probably afterwards everything will get back to normal, as well as the lockdown hour for the holidays. It's going to be from 11 till 6. And afterwards, it's going to get back to normal and be from 10, so 1 hour earlier, until 6 o'clock in the morning the next day. Basically, this is the situation that we have right now. What else is happening? We still have quite a big problem with the immigration system, especially with the ones that are coming from Africa illegally to Canarian Islands. Basically, what's happening? Quite a while ago, we had a big issue with it. We have a lot of different protests going on because there was no free space, not even 1 square meter available for people who arrived from Africa to Canarian Islands. Everything was just full. The area of the port, the area of the boats was extremely full. What happened? Our Minister of the Interior has decided to send them all with different flights to a lot of different cities of Spain. For example, Madrid, Valencia, Barcelona, some cities in Andalusia, Alicante, Murcia, so a lot of different regions in Spain. A lot of people were not happy with it. Well, it's normal because not all of them are bad. I don't want to say all of them are bad, but there are some people that are extremely aggressive, and this is just not something what the government should be doing. Only 10% of those who came to Spain were brought back to Africa, but these were extreme cases, the violent cases that were not simply able to adapt themselves to the life here in Spain, to how we are used to do things here, and they've caused a lot of different issues. This is why they were deported once again to Africa. But this is just 10% of all the people, thousands and thousands of people that came here from Africa. Right now, yesterday, for example, there's been one flight, again, one new flight coming from Canarian Islands to Madrid with approximately 60 immigrants on board. The authorities, basically what they say is that they are sending them to specific areas where they are locked down, to specific houses and organizations where they will be until it will be known what to do with them, either deport them again to Africa, or if they want to find a job here, or if they want to do something useful with their lives, you know. So until then, they should be in these organizations. But what's happening is that by law, they can say that they have someone who can take care of them, that they have, for example, some relative living in Madrid, in Barcelona, in north, south part of Spain, east, west, doesn't matter. And they are free to leave if that person confirms that they are able to receive this immigrant. Which is not very good because, for example, here in our Valencian region, in Calpe, the situation is just dramatic, because when you go through the beachfront in Calpe, you can basically see a lot of them just on the beachfront, on the seafront, selling bags, watches, different glasses, sunglasses, anything they can. They are just there, or they're just in groups of 5 or 6, just sitting there without doing anything. This is basically the situation that we have here. Of course, we can understand somehow the situation that they have in their countries and why they are desperately just wanting and wishing to go out of there. But as well, it's true that a lot of different organizations there in Africa are just lying to them and saying that due to COVID or due to the pandemics, due to anything, there are a lot of free workplaces here available because a lot of people died, and Spain just is willing to receive someone to give them the jobs. Of course, they don't know what the real situation is. They just believe what they've been told, and once they come here to Spain, they see what the true life is. And a lot of them want to come back, or others just want to immigrate to North countries like Germany, for example, in order to receive some kind of help, because there the help from the government is a lot bigger than we have here in Spain. Sad, but true. What else is happening? Here in Valencian community, we have a slight change, but a very important change, must say, in terms of social security and what's happening when you go to the hospital if you have to stay in the hospital. Basically, before today, which is happening from today, this change, before today, if you had to stay in the hospital as a patient, you were not able to receive any kind of visits during your whole stay there. Doesn't matter if it's a private hospital or if it's a public hospital. This was the measure that has been taken in order to decrease the amount of possible new cases from the hospitals. So at the end, the person, except if it was a pregnant woman who needed help after giving birth, or if it was a child who needed to stay with their parents inside, no one else was able to receive visits. But from today, this changes. And if something happens, if you have any relative in the hospital, you can know that from today, if it's a relative of yours or a friend of yours that is simply staying in a normal hospital room as a patient, he is able to receive 2 visits, but they have to be the same people all the time. And they have to come separately. So first comes the first person and then the second one. There is no limit in timing, so they can stay as much as they want to inside the room. Of course, inside of the normal visiting hours of the hospital. They cannot stay overnight unless it's an extreme case, then yes. But 2 people at least are allowed already to visit the patient in the hospital. If the person is in the ICU unit, then only one person, the same one person maximum, is able to visit that patient. 30 minutes in the morning and 30 in the evening. This is very, very important, especially for the people who are in the ICU units, because it's a huge psychological help for the person to not to stay alone in this difficult situation. So it's very, very positive that finally we are able to visit our relatives in the hospital, of course, with all necessary precautions. If it's a person who has like a terminal disease, who is staying at the hospital basically until the end of their lives, this person can receive 3 people in their room, in their hospital room, and they can stay any kind of time that they want to. There is no limitation either. This is just the next news that I wanted to let you know about is that here in Alicante region, even when we have this bad, awful, horrendous weather, still a lot of people went out to the streets. You know that yesterday was a Father's Day, as I've already mentioned, and many people, even though it was raining, even though it was very cold and wet outside, the wind was blowing, but a lot of people went out. I have one picture here from yesterday from Alicante, which is this one here. And a lot of people were just on the streets, having a walk, enjoying the company of their loved ones, of their dads, for example, and just enjoying some time on the terraces of the bars and restaurants that are already open. This is very nice, especially for the businesses, because they needed this breath of fresh air in order to maintain open and not to shut down permanently. What's happening with the Spanish weather? Well, Spanish weather is slightly getting better. It's not as good as it was a few days ago, to be honest, but still it's something. Right now, for example, we have a very, very strong wind outside. It's not raining, but there are some drops falling down, but it's not like a big rain or something like that. It's not pouring rain. This is here in Valencian community. What's happening in general in all Spain? As you can see on this picture, the situation is getting better and the rain went down to the south part of Spain. It's not here in Valencian region anymore, but it's reaching Murcia and Andalusia region. So there it's going to be raining today. Take your umbrellas with you. The north part of Spain is suffering of a different thing. It's suffering from snow once again. Yes, at the end of March, we have snow once again. Especially here in Valencian region, it's quite worrying because we normally don't really have any kind of snow. We barely have something like in January, February, like this, you know, and we just go to the mountains and play a little bit, but it's not that much. And right now on the north part of Valencian community, there is an orange alert due to the snow in the region of Castellón in the mountains. So let's see what's going to happen. But they say that by Monday, everything should get stable once again. And this Filomena second storm already this year will be eventually over. And the good weather, spring weather, and the beginning of a summer season will be back to us. What about the temperatures? Temperatures are decreasing quite a lot, especially on the north part of Spain and the center, as you can see. For example, in the north part, we will have from -2, which is in the area of the mountains, especially when there's going to be snowing, until 12 degrees. In the center of Spain, from 0 to 11, and the south part from 5 to 18 degrees. In the Mediterranean area, we'll have approximately from 5 to 15. The warmest will be here in our region of Benidorm, Alicante, Valencia, where we'll have 15 degrees maximum today, approximately at 3 o'clock on midday. Alicante, as I've already said, will have 15 degrees, Benidorm, same 15, Barcelona, 15, Granada, same 15, Malaga, 16, Sevilla will have 20 degrees because it didn't have any rain or any that bad weather as we have here, so the temperatures there maintain stable. In Balearic Islands, which are Mallorca, Menorca and Ibiza, was raining yesterday, so there the temperatures decreased as well and will have only 12 degrees maximum today. Canarian Islands have the stable temperature for today, and it's going to be approximately 21 in Las Palmas and 22 in Tenerife island. And Valencia will have the same 15 degrees as the whole region of ours for the day of today. As I've already said, it's quite probable that from Monday the situation will get better and there's going to be a lot more of a sunshine, and the wind will stop blowing that much as it is right now, because it's simply impossible to go out to the street. It's not very pleasant. The wind is very strong. There's a lot of humidity, and sometimes a few drops fall off from the sky, so it's not very good. But it will change next week. Let's hope so. These were all the news for today, my dears. I wish you a very, very nice weekend. Stay positive, distressed, and think that all this situation hopefully will change very, very soon. It cannot stay like this forever. So let's hope that it will be better sooner than later. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe here down below if you still didn't do so, and click on the like button if you enjoyed watching this video. And I'm gonna see you tomorrow with a new interesting tour from one of these cities here in Spain. Stay with us. Bye.